From the Opupco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching the Press Row. Press Row is brought to you by Cox High-Speed Internet. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell. It's time for our weekly 5 in 5 segment where we talk about 5 topics, each a minute. It's rapid fire. Here we go. Let's start with Texas A&M. What will we miss most about the Aggies, Barry?
Well, no great surprise. I'm going to miss the Fighting Aggie band. Love the Texas A&M band.
I'm glad you're being honest,
well,
for goodness sake.
Yeah, I watched Kansas State's band, nothing against K-State. I watched them Saturday in Manhattan, and they did a bunch of sidestepping and backing up. And go watch the Aggie band, and all they do is march forward and then play good music. So my kind of band, I'm going to miss them. SEC, you're going to love the Texas A&M band.
No doubt about it. I'm going to miss the band as well, but I'm also going to miss the tradition that Texas A&M brings, just the overall marquee name that they bring. Obviously, TCU coming into the league, I think they're going to be a great addition, but you don't have near the long-term tradition and cachet that Texas A&M has. Big 12 loses that, Barry. Regardless of who comes in, you lose that when you lose Texas A&M.
Now, the name brand I like. The goofy traditions down in College Station, not so much.
You don't like the sabers on the sideline?
I'm not going to miss the theatrics from the male cheerleaders. I'm not going to miss the kissing after a touchdown. I'm not going to miss all that stuff.
Who doesn't love the kissing and the swaying?
I'm not going to miss that upper deck swaying at Kyle Field at all. But the band, I'm going to miss.
All right, on to our next topic. This one is Kansas State. You've already besmirched the band. Now, what about this? Can OSU get turnovers against the Cats?
It's not going to be as easy because OSU leads the nation in fumble recoveries and interceptions. K-State's not going to give them the opportunity to intercept. They're not going to throw the ball. You're going to have to knock it away from them. Colin Klein's the guy that has the ball in his hands most of the time. Big, strong boy. Not going to go down easy. Not going to give up the ball. I'm going to say the turnovers are few for OSU Saturday.
I think that there are going to be less turnovers, but I tell you what, the OSU Cowboy defense has made a habit of getting turnovers. Sean Lewis said this week, it's like putting your helmet on. This is what we do. We put our helmet on, we go out and get turnovers. It's a mindset and it's a physical thing. They practice it every single day, getting the ball out. Everybody said, can OSU get turnovers against Baylor? Robert Griffin had only thrown 2 interceptions heading into that game. They got 2 interceptions in the first half against Baylor. I think they're going to come up with turnovers, but they're going to have to pop it out, Barry, and it is going to be a little more difficult, but this is what they've started to do every single game.
Well, it's not a fluke. It's not luck. It's not just people handing them the ball. They're taking the ball away from people. I think it's going to be tougher against the Cats, though.
All right, number 3. OU's lost to Texas Tech. Does it look better or worse? Obviously, Tech loses 41-7 to Iowa State. How's that fit in?
I mean, it looks worse, but I actually think the effect is going to be okay for OU because I think it's so ridiculous that Tech could come to Norman and beat the Sooners and then go home and lose in Lubbock to Iowa State. I think people are just going to almost dismiss the game and say, you know what, that was a fluke. At one point, we thought, Tech's a good team. They throw it around. They took advantage. You can't say that now. It's just a fluke. OU played bad, gave them the game. I don't know. OU will fall behind anybody that's unbeaten. They're not going to pass a Stanford. So I think otherwise, though, it's not going to hurt them in terms of national profile.
Well, and I think, perception may not be hurt, but I tell you what, if I'm Oklahoma, if I'm anybody that has anything to do with the Sooners, I'm still concerned about the passing offense that this defense looks so poor against. I mean, look at what Iowa State did at Tech against the Red Raiders, and OU had such struggles defensively against Tech's offense. To me, that really raises the issue. How are the Sooners going to fare against a passing offense, Barry? And we know which one looms biggest. It's OSU. Can they handle it? Yes, I know they got the injured guys back, but still, that has to be the biggest concern when you look at it and say, how did they allow Tech to do that? I think that defensive issue is still a concern.
Well, we actually get to see it twice before Bedlam. We get to see 2 tests. A&M can throw it around. Ryan Tannehill's an NFL prospect. Then Baylor. Robert Griffin throws it around. The Sooner pass defense will be tested.
All right, another topic. This one, West Virginia lawsuit. Is this perfect for the wacky, wild Big 12?
Well, no matter what we say, about the Big 12, it always falls short. I call it a pirate ship. I call it conference chaos. Neither one of those is an adequate description. Now we're told that Chuck Ninus says in Morgantown that this invitation is actually contingent on West Virginia being available for 2012. Does that mean West Virginia's not invited if they can't get out of the Big East contract? No wonder they filed suit. It's a big mess.
It is a big mess, but I tell you what, it fits perfectly with the Big 12 and the wackiness that is this conference. Every time you think you got something figured out, something blows up, something goes crazy. West Virginia, they're no stranger to lawsuits. They filed lawsuit against Rich Rodriguez a few years ago. Barry, I know you did a video commentary about that, but to me, it fits perfect. What else would we expect but a lawsuit, for goodness sakes? When you think things are starting to get figured out, you got to have a lawsuit.
Well, I mean, yeah, we were ready to have a lawsuit with Baylor trying to keep A&M in. I don't know why West Virginia wouldn't file suit on the other end. I think it actually is, it opens up a new avenue for Big 12 games, Court TV.
All right, our last topic, LSU or Alabama, who should Oklahomans be rooting for?
Well, I think the answer is Alabama. I think the answer is Alabama.
You got to root for Nick Saban?
Well, you've got to do it. Well, first of all, the Sooners aren't going to root for Les Miles. That's just not going to happen. But here's the deal. Sooners, Cowboys, Stanford, Boise State, I don't care who we're talking about. Nobody wants a piece of LSU in New Orleans. That's not what you want. That's a den of vipers down there.
Sooners did that once. We know how that turned out. Yeah.
Best chance at a national title for anybody is to play Alabama in New Orleans, even though Alabama might be the better team. Big home field advantage for LSU if they play in the Superdome.
Okay, I don't know if this is the answer to the question because I'm not sure Oklahomans are going to agree with me, but this Oklahoman is rooting for LSU. The chance to have a Les Miles coached LSU team playing against either one of our state teams, which I think there's a strong possibility of that happening. And if it's OSU, are you kidding me, Barry? The matchup of Les Miles and LSU against Mike Gundy and OSU. Give me a break. We never have. We don't have enough days to write all those stories.
The storylines are fantastic. I'm just thinking about chance to win.
Well, that's true.
And it's going to be tough for either team, to beat LSU or Alabama. But I just think if you want to win, hold out any open winning, it needs to be Alabama.
All right. Thanks for joining us on the Press Row in our 5 and 5 segment. And be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.